All right. So, good news. I'm working on the truck. So, in order to advance the truck, I'm at the point where, like, I know vaguely what it wants to look like, but essentially what I have to do is I have to solve one unit. So a unit is a wheel on the bottom and then a tag storage bay sitting above it. And then what I want them to do is I want the tag storage bays to start up and then swing down. And then that's how they go, like, on the truck, and then someone hits a thing, and then it goes down to the ground. And, like, as you can see, okay, so I mean, this is a mechanism test. This is like with theoretically an approximate version of what the measurements would look like. These here, it's moored onto a vertical post. In the actual, they would probably be horizontal posts that would lead in here. There would be two wheels at the bottom. You know, we're using our imagination here. And it basically works in that it goes here, and with the double swing, it stays vertical. So, like, theoretically, if you have a tag on here, theoretically it does the thing, and it'll have, like, a stopper so that it goes there. So it sort of works. The problem is it only works when the alignment is absolutely flawless. And as you can see with this one, and I'm actually going to take the tag off because it is currently not flawless. When it gets to the point where they're basically like that, you can see like that one's vertical, but that one's not, because like the lengths are slightly off. They're not all perfectly equal between the four members. And so you get kind of this like thing where like they're not all rotating at the same amount, and then so there's like this snapping thing where where the longer one has to kind of squeeze a little bit and then go through. And like that's not great if it's doing that when there's a like a tag on it. Also, like at the top, you can start to do some weird bends that are obviously not ideal. Like out here, once you're out here, it's a good mechanism. And if I make the mechanism so that the bars never have to go vertical, then it's fine. But if they never go vertical, then it's actually hard to make it stop. I then need to like come up with a different stopping mechanism, like, I don't know, a magnet or something to make it go click at the top here. And if I can figure that out, then it all works. So I could basically, if that's the front of the wheel, I just back the whole thing up so that the pivots are further back. I make it go click when it hits a magnet at the top, and then when I want it to let go, I just pull down away from the magnet and it goes down. So, yeah, not 100% sure what the answer is going to be, but that's where we are today, with sticks and wires in a Fresco box. So, yeah, and again, so it would be like basically 6 of these. So that's the like size of the truck, at least of the back part of the truck is. So this is a wheel, and then over it there's a bay, and then there's probably going to be a second enclosure that goes down, partial enclosure so you can still see through it. And these won't be a hard box either. It's going to be like bars and fence, and like you're supposed to see through it. It's not actually, doesn't have to actually be really all that solid. So it's going to have lots of like see-through areas, so you can have lots of depth and stuff. But anyway. But yeah, so then like, 3 of these going to about there in the back, and then there's going to be like a cab, and then so on. So the whole thing ends up being about, I don't know, whatever that is, like 12 inches long, 13 inches long, something like that. So anyway, that's where I am right now. The mechanism sort of works. It more or less does what I want it to do, but I will need to do further tests to figure out how to make it actually go smoothly, and it's going to require very, very precise machining, which is like, I don't know that I'm capable of the level of precision that it requires, especially because like this one, I mean, this is just wood. I was just kind of drilling through like pretty easily. What I want to do for the final one, to make sure it doesn't all snap, is I bought aluminum strips. They're for like making bracelets. And so I'm going to have to be like very, very precise when I'm doing it if I wanted to go with these. But anyway, that's where we are. Okay, I have done the first assembly of the cage, I guess I'll call it. So this is the frame on the bottom that the wheels go into, and then it lifts up to the top, and there's a second frame, and then basically these sticky outy bits are then what these arms go into, and then they go down, and then they flip up to here, and in so doing they lift up the little car that the tags are on. So yeah, this part went together okay. I spent a lot of time cutting and drilling today, but anyway. So I have 12 of the requisite does math 16 or 10 of the 16? 10 of the 16. I have 10 of the 16 arms to make 4 compartments. So yeah, need to find more of those, more jewelry slugs. But anyway, well, this is pretty good. It sort of looks like a thing. I can't roll it around because the wheels on the back are barely held on. Like, if I breathe wrong, it'll all fall apart. But it's fine. It's all going. And the good news for now is the wheels are far enough away from the posts that it is at least possible that they won't rub. Although, like, I don't know if it's visible here, but like the back wheel here, is like much closer to this peg than this one, which tells me that the hole there is possibly misaligned because all the other 4 look about right. So it possibly tells me that I drilled that one wrong and might need to re-drill it. So anyway, still not bad. Hey, look, it works. It's hard to do with one hand. It will work better when it's when the thing is heavier. But yeah, it lifts. The lengths on the arms is a lot more precise on this version, so they don't have the stuttering movement when they get to the top. This current version, the pins here are extremely temporary and constantly falling out, so I'm being very careful when I move it. But yeah, it goes down to the height where it's touching the ground, and then lifts up over the wheel. I did it! And then it is this big, so it's this is an S6 tag with a smaller base, so there's plenty of room inside for an even bigger one. Yeah, see there again, so the temporary pin came out. I need some different pieces to get them to actually attach properly on this part, but that's yet another trip to Michael's. So anyway, we did it! All right, here is a better robot bucket. Okay, so, you know, asterisk, still some kinks to work out, but yeah. Still does the thing, so it goes from on top, sitting over the wheel, to up and over. And it goes over without clipping. Still some issues where the original test tag bucket just had a smooth side and it went very smoothly. This one I decided to make the design have these like ridges on it, and they're snagging. So yeah, I don't know. The ridges may not live. I may have to I have to cover those. It still goes. So I mean, if I'm careful, it goes on. I might just leave them. But otherwise, I'm very pleased with how it looks. There's an element of it that's going to be here that's going to poke through. I am having some alignment issues that I have to go back and adjust. But anyway, there's going to be like a little plug in the wall, and then when this sits in, it'll just kind of lightly sit over the plug, and that'll lock everything in place. Yeah, and I've got 2 sets of rings on the inside for 40 mil and 55. So 40 mil goes into the inner ring. Ta-da! And it's not like the most solid thing in the universe, but it's reasonably solid. And then 55 goes in the big one. And then same thing, it just lifts down from there. And there's also another little bit, because, you know, as long as we're making things move, we might as well make things move. So I've got the little grill at the front, and it closes when it's up there. Fully manual, not making that automatic or anything. But when it goes out on the ground, and then you can kind of go meow, and then tip it down. And it's the thing. It's the better bucket. We're always improving bucket technology here at Captain Spud Industries. The march of buckets never ceases. I have a basic shape that I like for the hoods that go over top of the tag buckets. So it's that kind of like an arch shape, but then it's been sliced on top and sliced on the front. And then goes and sits up like this. And so it goes over there. So it cuts in a little bit on the space inside the tag bay, but should not actually impact any tags, I don't think. I'll do some more tests to confirm that. And then it hinges at the top. And then it'll lift 90 degrees. And then you'll be able to see it, and there'll be a light underneath. So that's the thing. And then this is just testing the shape. I have to actually then make all the details and stuff. So, but yeah, shape looks good. All right, I have assembled the upper stage of the frame and the first hood, and hung the first hood from the frame. And now the entire mechanism works. The snag right now is this will need a thing to sort of keep it up when it lifts, and I haven't figured out how that works yet. But anyway, so this will lift up. It'll stop here. So basically 90 degrees up from where it started. It'll stop there. I don't know, magnet, a jam of some kind. I don't know, I haven't figured it out. But for now, it just does this. And then this swings, and it clears the upper part by like 5 millimeters, which is plenty. And then it goes down to the ground, and then this thing rolls down, and then it goes do, and it goes and murders people, and then it comes home, and it gets back in the thing, and then this thing curls up, and then it goes, and it stops there, and then the thing goes down, and it's done. We did it! I made it. It works. It's fine. It's all fine. I'm pleased. I have 4 more hoods to build, and then, you know, everything else. But hopefully everything else is, I don't know, easier, because everything else doesn't have moving parts. Wow, I'm so excited to never work with metal again, I gotta say. It is a pain in the ass. But anyway, it's kind of getting there.